Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to take you through my simple makeup routine. So the first thing I do, having prepped my skin, is I put on a foundation, and at the moment I'm using, well today, I have this Clinique Even Better Makeup SPF 15 foundation, and it's this one. And it is in the shade CN52, which is called Neutral MF. CN52 Neutral. And I'll just do a little swatch for you on my hand so you can see the colour. My hands are always a bit darker than my face, obviously, but I hope you can see that colour. It's a really nice kind of, I don't know what colour you'd call that, but it is a neutral, I think. I think my skin is, it's kind of slightly olivey, but as I've got older, it's maybe got a little bit redder. I know you're supposed to be able to tell whether you've got olive skin or whether you've got a warm or cool skin by the colour of your veins, which can either be green or blue. But to be honest, sometimes mine look green and sometimes they look blue. I don't really know. Anyway, those are my veins in case they're of interest to anybody at all. But anyway, I think this colour suits me. I think it kind of goes with my neck and the rest of my body that you can see when I've got clothes on. So I put that on. Now, I mean, so many people on YouTube talk about how to find, or that they can't find, a holy grail concealer. And to be honest, I've recently gone through this thing of, do I actually want concealer, or do I want colour corrector, or do I want both? Oh, actually, I've forgotten something very, very important. Terribly sorry. Before I do foundation, or maybe afterwards, because I sometimes forget, I put on a lip balm, which is this one in particular I'm using, is called Frank Body Lip Balm Smooth, and it's this one. And my lips are quite dry. I mean, they don't feel dry, but I don't really notice it until I come to put lipstick on them. When I put lipstick on, I suddenly notice, oh, they're a bit flaky. So I've been using this lip balm for quite a while. As you can see, it's quite well used. I will put all the ingredients, all the products that I'm using below so that you can click on them and have a look at them at your leisure. But anyway, so this lip balm feels very nice on the skin, but I mean, I wouldn't keep it on all day. So I'll show you what I do, or I'll tell you what I do a bit later. Anyway, so I put that on. Then, so I've got my foundation, then I go to my concealer. So at the moment, I'm using this one, which is called Woma, U-O-M-A. Oh yeah, that's right. Woma is the brand. So it's a female founded brand. And this one is called Stay Woke, which is a kind of a, yeah, topical name, you might say. Anyway, this is the colour. Let me show you. Actually, do you know, I'll swatch it. So it's a little bit lighter. As you can see, it's a little bit lighter than the foundation, but that's as it should be. And then what I do, which again, of course, I've completely forgotten to tell you, the first thing I do, again, if I remember, is I take my beauty blender and I have a little water spray here and I spray it and then, you know, kind of squeeze it to let it dry out a bit. And then I use that to put the concealer on. And this is quite a new thing for me. I think it's partly because I'm quite impatient and, you know, I'm not sure I'm going to just sit there and pat around my eyes forever and a day, or it seems like ever and a day. So this is a bit quicker. I also put a bit of concealer around my nose. I've got one of these kind of permanent red zits here. Sorry, pimple or spot. It's not really a pimple or spot, it's just a discoloured mole or something. So I do that, and then I pat all the concealer in. And then after I do that, I then set my concealer with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush try saying that lots of times very quickly. The Airbrush Flawless Finish, not filter, Flawless Finish setting powder. And this is in the shade 2. And I will show you the shade. It looks like that. And I have this brush, which I think is a Space NK from ages ago. Oh, sorry, that won't do, will it? Space NK brush with a nice, relatively, well, a smallish or medium-sized bristles. I think they're synthetic. Anyway, so I dip that in. I do little kind of brushing around, and especially on my eyelids. Now, I don't use an eyelid primer. I've tried them back in the day, I just didn't get on with them at all. But my eyelids are very, very greasy, so I definitely need the powder. But the powder seems to do it, you know, with the concealer and then the powder on top, that seems to crack it. Because actually I've had this makeup on since, I don't know, well, since this morning. It's now this afternoon, so it's a good few hours, and I don't think, it doesn't look as if anything, no, it doesn't feel at all greasy. So it's obviously worked for me anyway. So I've done the powder around I've done the setting powder around my eyes. The next thing I'm going to do is, and again, I'm a relatively new convert, maybe, actually I'm new, maybe about 18 months to bronzer. I never used to wear bronzer before because I didn't really know whether I needed it because my skin was, you know, relatively dark, but it's not very pale. But then I started using, what did I start with? The Chanel, the famous Chanel Teint de Soleil, I think it's called. And I almost finished it. I still have it somewhere. But actually one day I put it on and I just thought, oh, it's just too orangey. So I've been searching for a bronzer that is not orangey, that's a bit more cool toned. And anyway, after lots of Facebook posts by me in different forums, somebody recommended the Bobbi Brown bronzing powder in Stone Street when I described, you know, what colouring I was. And I think it's really good. So that's the powder. And I think that's a really nice colour. I don't know if I can put it on my hand. Yeah, like there. I don't know if you can see that. But it's not, I don't think it is orangey. Anyway, it's what I'm wearing today. So I'm still a bit hit and miss about how I apply it. It doesn't always work brilliantly, and sometimes I have to really kind of blend it out. But usually what I try to do is a kind of figure of 3 that most people suggest, you know, so like this. And I use, oh my gosh, I love this brush so much. Bought this quite recently. I think it's Hourglass. Let me just double check. Oh no, it's not. No, it's a Morphe or Morphe. And that is it. And there it is. Oh, it's so soft. I absolutely love using it. It just feels so nice on the skin. Anyway, when I've done that, I then get my blush. And I know I use the same brush because, you know, how many brushes do I want? I mean, they're quite pricey, although actually I don't think this one was too bad. Again, I'll link I'll link the link down below with the cost, with the price of it. And I dipped this into Hourglass. I went a bit bonkers with Hourglass recently. And what is this called? This is called Luminous Flush. And who doesn't want a bit of luminous flush on their cheeks? She says, trying to open it. So this is the colour, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love the fact that it's sort of, you know, it's got that sort of, what do you call it, beigey mix of colours in there. Anyway, it's absolutely beautiful. And it looks like, oh, I don't think this is going to work really. No, I'm too dark to show you. Anyway, it's a beautiful colour, and it's what I'm wearing today. I mean, yes, it's probably faded a bit now. I don't know whether you can see any of it. Actually, I'll tell you what, why don't I put a bit more on? Be a good idea, wouldn't it? So let me do that with my trusty Morphe brush. And this is how I apply it in a boomerang way. I know that sounds a bit ridiculous. So I go like this and like that. So boomerang, and then over here let's do boomerang on this side, boomerang like that. And then if I've overdone it, what I will do then is my other lovely Hourglass product that I adore, which is the ambient lighting powder, which Sally Hughes recommended, and it is absolutely fantastic, and that is it there. I will then go in with my other beautiful, actually, do you know, that's funny, this isn't Hourglass either. Maybe I didn't get an Hourglass brush, I'm obviously going mad. This is an It Cosmetics brush, which again is another fantastic brush, and again beautifully soft. So I'll dip my brush into the ambient powder, and I'll just, you know, kind of blend to make sure that I haven't gone too mad with the rose coloured thing. There we go. Now let's talk about eyes. So firstly, brows. And I have struggled to find a tool, or really not a brush, a pencil. I've struggled to find a pencil to do my brows, because I think, well, it's maybe not the pencil's fault, it's my fault, because I'm quite cack-handed, and also once I'm at it, I just want to do it quickly, and I cannot draw in little tiny hairs on my brows. It's just not going to happen. So what I do, I've kind of gone back to what I used to do years ago. I use a brush and I use an eyeshadow actually, and this is Bobbi Brown. God, this is so old, this one. In Saddle 61. At the moment, that's what I've got on today. Sometimes I go a bit lighter, it depends on the mood. Depends on the mood I'm in. And that is the colour there. And I dip this, at the moment I'm using this kind of, let me show you this sort of angled, quite stiff brush to do the brows. And I've got one side, I think it's the left side here, where I've got quite a gap in my brows. So I do them, and you know, they perhaps look a bit heavy when I first do them. I mean, you might think they look a bit heavy now, maybe they do, to be honest. But anyway, I do them with the eyeshadow, and then I follow that up with a sort of, to kind of, you know, even them out, or not even them out, but fluff them up and make them look less heavy and sort of, you know, like I've really drawn them in. And at the moment I'm using this Plump and Set Brow Artist, and that is it there. And that is by L'Oreal. So a nice drugstore price. And that's quite good because it kind of fluffs them up. I can't use this on its own because it's not enough to fill in, or at least I don't find it so. The only thing is it is a little bit sticky. So sometimes I have to get a spoolie brush like that, and I kind of fiddle around just to make them look right. But I think they look okay. They maybe look a little bit drawn today, but they're not too bad. So I do that, and then, so today what I did was I actually used, just because it's the weekend and I didn't want to, well, I'm not going out anywhere at the moment, sadly. So I thought, well, I'm not going to do anything dramatic to my eyes. So I put on the Hourglass. I'm kind of quite liking playing around with the powders I've got that aren't meant to be for eyes, but putting them on my eyes just to see how they look. And I think the Hourglass looks quite nice. I don't know if you can see. I mean, it's, you know, it's quite sort of beigey pale, but I quite liked it. So I put that as eyeshadow on my eyes, and I kind of took it up above the crease. And then, oh, this is my new favourite pencil. It's called Eyeliner by L'Oreal, and this is it here. And I have got it in the shade, it's the darkest of the dark, black. But of course it doesn't say what it's called, but I will find it. And oh, here we are, black cashmere. Oh, noir cashmere, very nice. So I tight line first, so you know that's lifting up your eye, putting it on the rim of your eye, and then I've got it as eyeliner as well. And then just to make sure to set it properly, I'll then go back with my trusty brush that I used on my eyebrows with some of the colour from my eyebrows, and just kind of make sure it's set. And I think it's pretty good. I mean, it doesn't move, you know, because as I say, I've had this on since, well, about 10 o'clock this morning. It's now about 4 o'clock, and look, I don't think it's really moved at all. So I'm really pleased about that. And then, of course, lipstick. So I then take off my my lip balm that I put on before. So I take that off just gently, and then I go in with my lipstick. Oh, today I'm wearing, oh God, I love this so much, Lisa Eldridge. And the colour is Velvet Beauty. I mean, these lip products are things of beauty in themselves. No wonder they're called beauty. I mean, they are just, well, first of all, this beautiful, beautiful, I don't know if you can see that, let me hold it up, this beautiful case. Look at it, kind of a magnetic closure. Right, let me show you the colour first. It looks like this. I have a few of her lipsticks. This one is my favourite at the moment, and I'm going to put it on. I already got it on. It just feels, it feels so luxurious, and it's got that sort of velvety texture when you look at it, and it feels very velvety on the skin. And I really, really like it. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now, sometimes if it's a bit too heavy, not heavy, but if it feels a bit too strong, and maybe it's, you know, I'm on a Zoom call and it's work and I don't want to look too, you know, too fancy schmancy, I will use, and where is it now? I've got another lipstick. Oh, where's it gone? Where's it gone? Oh, here it is. Is this Natasha Denona? No. Huda Beauty, sorry, Huda Beauty, which is a lovely, another lovely colour. It's a great, actually that's a really lovely, if you can see that, really lovely case. So this is Huda Beauty. I think it's the first Huda Beauty product I have ever bought, and it's called Girls Trip. Actually, do you know what? I think somebody on YouTube recommended this. This is why I got it. Anyway, that is the colour, so it's a bit lighter. It's always a bit tricky, isn't it, buying lipsticks online, because, you know, you can't try them on at the moment. Anyway, this is the colour. And what I might do is I might just put a bit in the centre. Just to lighten it up a bit. Which kind of, oh, may have gone a bit bonks there. Which kind of just, you know, lightens up the middle a bit, gives it a bit more depth or something. So that is my makeup for today. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I really hope you consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. I've really enjoyed talking to you about the makeup that I enjoy wearing. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!